This scooter is a head turner. I mean, you could drive a Jaguar or a McLaren to work, but they're not gonna get you the attention like we get with this scooter. We're two real guys with real jobs who love to review and ride scooters, and today we're going to be following Andrew while he rides the Varla Pegasus to work. But before we get started, Andrew, tell us about the Varla Pegasus.
The Varla Pegasus is a dual 500 watt motor scooter. It's a 48 volt, 15.6 amp hour system, so just shy of 750 watt hours.
We're going to go follow Andrew to work. I must say, Andrew, you're looking pretty good there in your suit, looking sharp. Let's get going.
The scooter's a fun scooter. What I love about it is the display. It looks great, awesome under sunlight. The whole design is totally different than we've ever seen on any other scooter. The kick plate on the back is actually built into the deck, and it's got a very thick silicone mat when we're normally used to seeing very thin silicone mats, so I love that about it. It does really do well for power sliding as well. It's got solid tires, so it's maintenance free. But what it also adds to it is when you go to brake with your rear brake only, you can really slide out the rear end and create a fun experience. It's also got a thumb throttle, which a lot of people prefer a thumb throttle over a trigger throttle. If you don't like changing tires, if you're not in a place where you have a scooter repair shop nearby and you're not very handy, you definitely want to go with solid tires because tires can be a pain in the butt to change.
We're gonna ride. While we ride, we're gonna talk about the things that we don't like about this scooter. Let's keep going. All right, Andrew, tell us what you don't like about the Varla Pegasus.
Yeah, the first thing that I really notice is the stiff steering and suspension. It's stiff. It's really stiff, which I would think with solid tires, I would prefer a little bit softer suspension. It makes the scooter not as nimble, but it definitely adds to stability when you're going at higher speeds. The light is pretty awful, but that's like most commuter scooters. We have yet to find a commuter scooter that has a good enough light for safe night riding. The very last thing is that because the suspension is stiff, it creates a lot of chatter on your head with the solid tires if you're going at slower speeds. So like right now, I can feel the vibrations in my head, but if I'm going faster than 10 miles per hour, it does eliminate that vibrations. One thing I'm not the biggest fan of, the way it clips into itself when you have it folded. It locks into there, it's good, it doesn't fall out on you, but it does tend to scratch that little hook. The paint's already starting to come off on the little hook on the top because it's metal on metal contact.
Right. And the only other thing too is the display that they use is very nice. It is kind of piecemealed from the e-bike world, and so the labeling on there is specific to e-bikes and not to e-scooters. But it's a step in the right direction that they're going with the big, nice, pretty display. So why don't we switch? Let me ride it for a little bit, and I can share some of my thoughts. Let's pull over here.
Sounds great.
All right, now it's my turn to ride this bad boy. I wasn't expecting that much pickup. I think maybe it was on single motor the last time I was riding it. It's got good pickup. Like Andrew said, it's very stiff. When you're going at a decent speed, the suspension and the softer rubber tires do a good job absorbing that chatter. We're going up this little hill here, and it's a very capable hill climber with the dual motors. I mean, I don't feel like it's struggling at all. The other nice touch is the thumb throttle. A lot of people don't like that finger trigger, just because it gets a little confusing between, you know, which one's the brake, which one's the gas, you know what I'm talking about, the throttle. But with the thumb throttle, you can use your thumb and got great control with this. So you don't need a steering damper for this, just because the steering's so stiff. I use my body to turn a lot, and just now that I'm in this crouching position, looking at the display, this is a good looking display. I mean, this looks nice even with this full sun. And finally, I do like the kick plate. The kick plate is nice. It's a perfect angle for me, and it's great for when you just want to full throttle it up these little hills like this. We are a scientific channel here, and so my hypothesis is that the stiffer turning is because of the wider tire and the contact on the ground. So if that's the case, if I were to pick it up the turning should be easier. And it's not. No. Just because it's a hypothesis doesn't mean it has to be true. All right, so that was my hypothesis. It was wrong, but in the end, we're all uplifted and edified because we've learned something. It's a stiff steering. It almost feels like there's a steering damper on there, but it's still a fun ride. Let's keep going. At our next stop, Andrew's gonna go to work, and before he does that, we're gonna talk about who should get the Varla Pegasus.
It's all in the hips. This is probably one of the best buys that has a dual solid tire option. To compare it to two scooters, the two scooters that probably fit the bill on here is going to be the Mercane wide wheel and the 08X. And also the Nanorobot Lightning. That's also a dual solid tire option for a scooter. So those are the comparables. I think for this value buy at $1,099 and then minus $50 with the coupon Jimmy Chang, man, it's a sweet deal. I got 19 miles of range out of the scooter rather than the stated, I think 25 is what it's stating. Bunny hop. Oh, the suspension. So the suspension on here is really tight, but over time it is getting softer, which I do appreciate a lot more. See, I can feel my head chattering under 10 miles per hour, but if I rip it, no head chatter, so go fast. It's just got a button here. You just press down on the button, pop it open, and it opens right up. But yeah, I'm surprised how good the steering column feels. There's no stem wobble at all, but it doesn't look like it's complex. It looks like it's pretty simple.
It's very simple, folding and folding.
Yeah, here's the D-ring. They gave you an extra D-ring, which I thought was kind of interesting. I think they expect it to break. And you just line up that D-ring here with this hook. But you see it's metal to metal contact, so it does cause that thing to scratch. It is 66 pounds, so it's not too crazy, but not the most lightweight commuter scooter. It is pretty little bit clunky.
Andrew's gonna head off, I'm gonna head off. Thanks for watching. If you guys have any other questions, check out our full review at gotscooter.com. And when you guys ride, remember to wear your safety gear.
Okay, we're about to do a Varla Pegasus speed test. Let's take it for a rip. 21, 23, 25, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 30, says 34, 35. I know the display's off a little bit, so it doesn't feel like I'm going 35.